Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Actually, hold on one second. Now, like I was saying, good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Happy Thursday. We are hopping our way towards the weekend. But first, a bunch of big announcements have hit Nintendo Switch today, including release dates for very exciting games that are coming sooner than we thought. Plus, more delays. What the heck is going on, and why are all the Switch versions just getting scooted towards later this year? The Switch also got a new system update, and Nintendo is oddly adding insult to injury with their Switch Online. Why you gotta do it this way? But I hope you like the way I did up my new setup. It feels good to be in the new studio for GMM, and I'm so glad to have you all here with me. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Love you a lot. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoy the show and you like the look of the new set. I think it's looking pretty freaking fresh. I'm really happy with it, and I hope you guys are ready for the next era and evolution of Good Morning Mario. So make sure to let me know your thoughts on this and today's topics in the comments down below. It feels good to be in real space, not green screen space. I can do this and show you the Lexar play card coming across the screen. This is the best thing for your Switch to store all your games, up to 1 terabyte of storage, which will help gobble up your Switch saves and keep them safe, secure, locked in, pretty much for eternity. It's the best memory card. It gets the SwitchForce seal of approval, and every time you click the link in the description down below, it helps support the channel. So if you enjoy what we do, definitely check out Lexar. Their memory cards are awesome. But what's not cool are these delays that are hitting Switch recently. We talked about Dying Light 2 getting a 6-month skedaddle off to later this year, and multi-platform games that hit day and date are applauded. And Life is Strange Remastered Collection was supposed to be one of them. The game was initially scheduled for 2021, then it got bumped to February 1st, out in just a couple of weeks, everywhere except Switch. Because the fine folks at Don't Nod and Square Enix announced today that, hey, good news, the game is coming out February 1st, everywhere except Switch, and it'll be releasing later this year, no specified date. And I think the thing that hurts most about these delays is that they give you nothing to latch on to. Like when a delay happens, you say, okay, that date, it's okay, we'll get there. I can circle it on the calendar, but with Dying Light 2 and now Life is Strange Remastered, there's no date. Maybe it comes out next month, maybe it comes out in 3, maybe it comes out in 6, maybe it gets pushed again, but I'm very curious why these games on Switch specifically are getting bumped. I'm guessing it boils down to port support just isn't there. The staff maybe is struggling to meet deadlines and the Switch is sort of last on the totem pole, which is a bummer, but guess that's the way things work right now. Let me know in the comments down below if you were gonna get Life is Strange Remastered, and now if you're sad that there's another delay. Dun 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 dun. Something is approaching from far off in the galaxy. The stars have called and they've said, Zach, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is finally coming out on April the 5th, and guess what? That's everybody, every platform, Switch included, all launching on the same day. You've heard that before. Let's just fingers crossed there's no delay, because this game has been delayed many times already. All right, I saw this sucker E3 2019, the last time E3 happened in person. Sad, but the game looked really glad, and now they came out with a 6-minute trailer, and oh baby, it looks so fun. It's by far the most advanced, best Lego game they have ever built, and there's so much content here across 9 movies and countless planets, 300 plus characters, and Jabba the Hutt slithering, sliming, and doing some jigs. Yes, you heard that right. The characters can all dance in this game. There's upgraded blaster combat, there's lightsaber combos, and it just looks like a really awesome adventure, and it should be with how much development time it has had. So this one is dropping April 5th, adding another early year awesome Switch game to the 2022 calendar. You got Pokemon, and then you got Kirby and Triangle Strategy, and Star Wars is coming. And honestly, even if you're not a kid, I think these games have really earned their keep. The last entries in the Lego franchise were really fun. I played them on the Marvel side of things. And this one, look, it looks like it's going to be their best effort yet. But speaking of effort, there is a dark side to this. And I'm sad to say that with this release date, it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. In fact, it was a cloud, because a number of developers, both current and former, from Traveler Tales, said, there's been a lot of crunch, and soft-spoken blackmail was the quote that they gave, that they really pushed these people the last 5 years to make this thing happen in ways that aren't really acceptable. Unfortunately, we see this so often in the video game space, and especially for a game that got delayed many times, it's a real bummer to hear that it wasn't a more relaxed development, because you'd hope with delays like this, they're able to support the staff, and it sounds like that was not the case. This is actually the culmination of a lot of stories, not just regarding the release date, but there were a lot of employees that left this company over the past few years. Apparently 40 of them left since the start of 2021, which is a lot for a video game studio. So while this is a light side announcement and the release date is awesome, there is a little bit of dark side to it too. And I'd love to know your take in the comments down below. Are you excited for this one? Are you picking it up? Does it suck that the devs really had to crunch to make it happen? It absolutely does. This right here is one of those moves that I find hilarious. You have a humongous corporation that just makes money, and they do something so darn goofy. All right, this comes from Nintendo of Japan, and they put out a PSA on how to remove Switch games you can no longer play. Okay, which I feel like is pointing out and putting a spotlight on a horrible error that Nintendo made. Last year, in the month of March, Nintendo decided to eviscerate some Mario fun. They decided to say, hey, we're not selling Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch anymore, and they decided to completely can Mario 35, which was a really cool Mario game where everyone was competing together for the 35th anniversary in these Mario levels. It was reminiscent of Tetris 99, and it was really neat. I enjoyed it a lot myself. And that game no longer exists because it was an online exclusive, never sold, and they just got rid of it. And so in this PSA, they show how you can remove Mario 35 from your Switch. What? Like, today should be a good day for Nintendo Switch Online users because Banjo-Kazooie got added, and that is a brilliant game from my childhood. A lot of people are excited to play it, and it's out there right now. You can grab it if you have the expansion pack. But in an era when everyone's trying to feature add, Nintendo's like, yes, remember when we feature reduced? We deducted Super Mario Bros. 35 from all your accounts, and here you can get rid of this dead little cute square that you have on your system. It does nothing. You can click, but you won't get to play because we are really weird and we eliminate games that we created that were awesome and that people liked because it was a limited time engagement. What are you doing, Nintendo? We got Microsoft over here trying to make Game Pass the greatest value since sliced bread. We got Sony looking to add more value to their services, even though they already do free titles. And then we got Nintendo saying, yo, remember when we got rid of a game that was free, that we let you play, that you liked, give it back. One of these days, they'll get it right. Today doesn't seem to be that day. Also, they have not yet announced the new game for February for Nintendo Switch Online, even though Banjo is out there. So apparently the schedule ain't the same. I don't know. I'll keep you posted if they do say anything. I'm hoping they do. It would really suck if we got a game in December and January and then they're like, time to take a break. I don't know how they operate over there. It is very weird. I'll keep you posted. Let me know how you feel about Nintendo drawing attention to their mistakes. It's weird, it's strange. I want to hear what you think. Quick aside, I've seen a lot of conversation about Nintendo being purchased at some point. Like, could Microsoft sweep in and pick up Nintendo and say, haha, we gotcha. Bowser ain't the bad guy, it's actually Phil Spencer. Or could Apple decide that they want to play and acquire some controllers of their own via the big N? And I just want to give my 2 cents, which is that no way. There's a couple of things that limit this from happening, and the first is that Nintendo is the winner right now. Their Switch is insanely successful, and I feel that their pride, their origins, and honestly, their Eastern focus in terms of their management structure makes them really want to be independent and really want to do things themselves and really want to do things their way. They aren't struggling, they don't need support, they don't have any big catastrophes or calamities going on. In fact, things are going super peachy keen. So there is no point in Nintendo selling right now, and I don't think even if they were offered all of Scrooge McDuck's entire life savings, they would take it because something about that company just, man, it oozes the origins of video games. And I think that will last for eternity. I think they will be the forebearers of kind of so much of this industry for as long as they can. Right, they weren't the very first to develop a video game, obviously, but in terms of longevity, in terms of where they came from, Nintendo is the grandpa in the room. They have far more invested in this, right? Their roots are so much deeper than Sony or Microsoft's. They don't want to be a part of that. And I think they always feel like they're playing their own game. You see it with how they approach hardware, and graphics don't mean so much to them. You see it with how they approach multi-platform deals, games, even marketing. The fact that the controller, the A button's where it's supposed to be. On the right-hand side, it's not down here. It's up here where it's supposed to be. So look, in an era of acquisitions and everybody trying to figure out how they're going to become the biggest and best, just remember that Nintendo, they sold the most Switches last year. They'll probably sell the most Switches this year. Their games go gangbusters, and everybody believes in what they're doing and loves this era. It's been amazing, and there's no need, reason, or likelihood that Nintendo sells to anybody. ever. What they will do though is pop out a new patch for Switch. Is this the one? Did we get the themes or the folders or the revitalized Nintendo? No. Patch 13.2.1 hit, and lickety split, I'm waiting for my new avatar pictures. I want them to get those up to speed. You haven't got any in a while, and I'm ready to swap out of what I have currently. Do you know what I have currently? If you do, let me know. But anyways, patch 13.2.1, general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. I don't know if it'll actually enhance my experience, but hey, that's what they say. That's what we'll believe, and we'll move on and wait till 14 comes out, and maybe then we'll get some of the features that we've been clamoring for like 5.5 years. How do you hear something like that and not make a change? I love Nintendo. You know they're my favorite. Just sometimes they're so weird. It's like, man, nobody called you up and said we want the themes and the folders. Somebody had to say that. Everybody says that. Why don't they hear us? The very good news though is that I hear you, and I can stretch out like this and wrap up the results of the poll because I post those on the community tab each and every weekday evening. Subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and find out what I'm talking about so you can be included, because last night I asked you, did you ever subscribe to a video game magazine? Look, at one point in my life, this was the most exciting moment of the month. Nintendo Power arriving in my mailbox was like Christmas once a month. It was so awesome. And me and my brother had like dueling magazine subscriptions. He got Ranger Rick, I got Nintendo Power, and if Ranger Rick came before Nintendo Power, oof, I was feeling salty for quite a while. Then I subscribed to EGM and Game Informer and eventually Edge, importing that from across the pond. I love the era of magazines, and they've kind of been obliterated, but some of you definitely were a part of it. 44% did subscribe at one point or another to a video game magazine, whilst 56% of you have not had that lovely opportunity to hold a video game book and read it. I remember being on like flights and like getting excited to go to the airport and pick up a magazine that I didn't subscribe to, or like you go to Barnes & Noble and get the pirouette cookies and then find a magazine that you didn't ever see before or didn't have, and you're like, oh my God, I'm learning about games because there's no internet, and where else would I learn about these games? It was really neat, it was really cool. If you missed out on the era of magazines, order one off eBay. They're probably cheap and it would be a pretty cool nostalgic time capsule type experience. But life moves forward, so we'll move forward to tomorrow's episode. Until that time, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you being here. I hope you like the work we've put in to make this so cool. I love it. I think it looks great. The poster, you know those are Miyamoto drawings in the background, right? He made those for me, next to me. I sat there with him, one of my coolest Nintendo things I have, and now I get to share them all with you, and we get to share Nintendo together every day. So thanks again for being a part of it. Make sure you're staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. I love you so much. And until next time, my wonderful friends and family, SwitchForce out.